somebody asked me about Marten. I left Marten, to be correct, I got fired by Marten 2 years ago, but people still asking me about Marten, and I felt like I was gonna make a video about it, talk to you guys about it, because no matter what the circumstances was, I still hold Marten as one of the best company out there. And this guy made a comment, I'm gonna put his comment somewhere here, that asked, to tell him the truth about Marten. Minimum guarantee, the mileage, all the above. Are they really nice? Dispatcher, all the good stuff, the things that we care about. To tell him, because he thinking about going there with his wife. So throughout this video, we're gonna talk about it, because I still think Marten is one of the best companies out there compared to Swift, Warner, UX Express, all these companies, Knight. Marten is one of the best. So without further ado, let's get in the video. And listen, I want to say this too. Before I even get into this, I am not joking, but listen to this. No company perfect. But when it comes to Marten, they're touching. It's all about what you care about, right? As a company, as a driver, it's so loud in here. Let me get my coffee, we'll talk. It was too loud inside, so. Anyway, what I was saying is, as a driver, what matter to you? Some drivers just like the miles, and they go to company based on mileage. They want to make the most money. Some people just care about having a little bit of a balance, still want to have a lifestyle, especially as a team driver, right? Because the guy that made that comment, he's a team driver. And me personally, us as a team, we care about everything to be touched at once. As far as make a little bit of money, don't want to be stressful by dispatcher, and have a little bit of lifestyle, which is like have some time between loads so we can go and hang out, visit the city, wherever we are, and and enjoy while we're driving. And I think Marten is in the best position to give you all that, if you care about that. Now that I got that out the way, let's talk about the money. He asked me if it's legit, their minimum pay. Yes, it is. They pay $1,500 before tax. After tax, you would take at least $1,100, $1,200 at home. That's minimum guarantee, right? And few things you have to do to get that guarantee, but it's not much. You can drive 2,000 miles a week, which is extremely small for team drivers, right? So if you drive 2,000, you turn your paperwork on time, and what's the other thing? You work 5 days a week. You get minimum pay. Now, if you work normally, they're gonna give you the miles. You're gonna get the miles. We used to average at least 45, 45 a week. But we never care about the miles, because there's some days that we're making more money not driving than we're actually driving. The miles, you're going to get it. If you don't get the miles, they're gonna pay you minimum guarantee. Beautiful thing about Marten, again, if you're a West Coast driver, you're not even gonna go east. You barely would go east. You're just gonna stay on I-5. If you live in California, you're just gonna go from California to Washington, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Sometimes you're gonna go in Arizona, you're gonna go to Vegas a little bit, but a lot of time, you're just gonna go back and forth, back and forth. If you're on the East Coast, you won't even see West Coast. You're just gonna stay East Coast, just back and forth, back and forth. If you're in the Midwest, That's the beautiful thing about Marten. You know, for me personally, that's what happened to me. When I used to tell Marten, like, hey, look, I'm tired of being in the West Coast, send me Midwest, I stay Midwest and just do my run in the Midwest. When I tell my dispatcher, hey, send me east, I want to drive a little bit east, he send me east and I just stay east. You know, they don't have, a lot of times they don't have these coast to coast load. You know, you're gonna stay in your region. So if you're from East Coast, you will never see West Coast unless you wanna see West Coast. You know, if you're West Coast, you would never see Midwest or East Coast unless you wanna go and check it out for yourself, okay? You're gonna get your miles, you're gonna stay in your region, and if you don't get your miles, you're gonna get your minimum pay, no problem. Now, let's talk about the downtime pay. Especially as a team driver, you always gonna get paid. Let me give you an example. Let's say they gave you a load Monday. You have to drop that load Thursday. Is from Washington to California, right? So let me not use that. Let me assume they give you a coast-to-coast ride, a coast-to-coast load that goes from Florida to California. Pick up Monday, deliver Thursday. As a team driver, if you run real well, you can be there Wednesday morning, right? You can be there Wednesday morning. Now, if you get there Wednesday morning and you cannot make an early delivery, but the delivery is for Thursday, they pay you $250 for that one day, $250. Maybe things have changed because I haven't been there for 2 years, but this is how it used to go. If we come early, if we're not getting any load, if we have any type of layover, we're getting paid for it. And another beautiful thing is when wintertime comes, they don't even want you to drive wintertime. They don't even want you to drive. So as a team driver, every time you feel unsafe to drive in the wintertime, you park, you get paid $250 for that day. I'm telling you, man, listen, yes, I got fired by Marten, and a lot of people get fired from companies and from a company, and they feel some type of way, right? No, I don't have no malicious thing against Marten at all, because that was my fault. That was my fault, and then I've watched a lot of videos that said I should never get that warning tickets. But the way that police officer would make it seem like he was doing me a favor. You know, I try to dispute the warning that said they can't. And I've watched a lot of videos that said that I shouldn't get that warning ticket. I should have get a real ticket, then I can go and fight it. So I just want to throw this out there. That was my fault why I got fired, and they had all the right to fire me after speeding like that, you know. But Marten is a good company. Wintertime, I'm telling you, if you watch this, go to Marten, man. They're gonna take care of you. Wintertime come, I remember one time we were stuck in Oregon. We were there at least like for 4 days. It was snowing like crazy. For 4 days we were parked there. For these 4 days we were there, do the math. That's $1,000. That's $1,000 that we got paid. But when you take, you know, the taxes out, we got paid like around like $800 of not doing anything. We were just sitting on our butt. We didn't do anything. They're gonna send you a message too. They're gonna tell you to stop moving, park. Because they'd rather pay their drivers than actually putting yourself in danger and destroy the truck. I want you to ruin the truck. They don't want you to destroy the truck. They don't want you to get in an accident, so they'd rather pay you for it. Now, dispatch, they're dope, they're nice. The dispatcher that I had was awesome. He was dope. He never bothered me. He never said much, you know. He always checking on me. We have great communication, conversation, you know. My thing is, when you meet your fleet manager, hang out with him. See him, see his face, meet him, talk to him, tell him how you want to run, how you want to do your thing. Have this type of conversation with him, which that's what I did, right? He was a young guy, you know. around my age. I think he was a little younger than me. And it was fun. We bumped heads, which is understandable, but overall, everything was perfect. Everything was awesome. I really enjoyed my time at Marten, and I was sad when I got fired. So everything else, overall, they're dope. You know, they're not pressuring you to do anything. You got a lot of time between your loads to shower, to go to Walmart, to cook your food. If you're a person that like to cook your food on the road, you got a lot of time. You know, they got terminal all around the United States. They got one in Indiana, Florida, California, Arizona. It's pretty much what I can tell you. If you care about having a little bit of life balance and still making money and still not be pressured by your fleet managers and want to have a good time, Marten is it. If you're a guy that's looking for, like me, you're looking for just a little bit of everything, Marten is that. Because as a team, if you're running, you easily can make $1,800. Easy. You can make an easy $1,800, you know, with Marten. If you're not making your miles with the minimum guarantee they have in place, you easily can make $1,200. You would never make less than that. You would never make less than that. So for me, Marten have gave me all the things that I've wanted, that I have listed in this video. I'm not gonna say it again, but for me, they touch on that. So hopefully I have answered all your questions, and as a team driver, I will assume that's all the things that we care about, as far as have a little bit of balance, have a little bit of time between our loads so we can do few things for ourselves, you know, have time to even park for the night. If you feel lazy, if you feel like you don't want to work, you still got that time to just be like, you know what, I just want to have a night with my girlfriend. We're going to cook and just go to bed, get up early and shoot. You got time between your load to do that. So hopefully I touched everything that you wanted me to talk about. And if you have any other question, put out there in the comment. And that's for every other driver that's thinking about going to Marten. I think Marten is the dopest company. If you're a team driver and you're working for Warner, you got your experience, go to Marten, because I think Marten require you to have at least 2 or 3 months of experience, if I'm not mistaken. 2 or 3 months of experience before you go to Marten. So go to Marten, man. Marten is a dope company. So without further ado, I gotta go and drop my load because I got to go. So any other questions, let me know, and I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm out. Peace.